The umpires at first base, Billy Van Rathhorst. At second base, Mr. Bill Richardson. At third base,
Hi everybody, I'm Dan Williams. On behalf of George Langevin Sports Video Productions, I'd like to welcome you to tonight's Super Game of the Week. We're at Qualcomm Stadium here in San Diego, California for tonight's San Diego CIF Division I Boys Baseball Championship. And we have got two teams ready to go head-to-head against one another. From La Costa Canyon, it's the Mavericks. They'll be going up against the Foothillers of Grossmont High School. Let's take a look at the roster for the La Costa Canyon Mavericks. They'll be a home team, and they'll be on defense first. Starting at first base, number 9, Michael Segura. At second base, number 13, Chad Addison. At shortstop, number 15, Jason Hill. At third base, number 8, David Sewer. Left field, number 6, Paul Macaluso. Center field will be number 7, Carlos Balderas. And playing right field will be number 4, Victor Yoshida. On the mound, pitching tonight for the Mavericks, number 12, David Ebright.
leading off for Grossmont.
And behind the plate, catching number 11, Garrett Colburn. A spirited crowd here tonight at Qualcomm Stadium. Beautiful evening for baseball. We had two super games earlier today. We'll talk about them as the game goes on. We had the Division II and the Division III championships prior to this one. This is the flagship game for this evening, Boys Division I. And stepping in against David Ebright is number 2, Sean Curley. Sean Curley, shortstop for the Grossmont Foothillers. David Ebright, number 12, the superstar pitcher for the La Costa Canyon Mavericks, out on the mound. Right-handed pitcher. Nice grab at third base and a good strong throw. Ryan Lair, third baseman, does the Caminetti style snag and throw, and it was a sharp throw to Matt Pasilia, and it's 1 up and 1 down for the Foothillers. So David Sewer,
Left fielder, number 21, Joe Howard.
and coming up now to bat, Joe Howarth. Swing and foul. So for the defense of the Mavs, the infield is Osigera, Addison, Hill, and Sewer. And it was Sewer who made that great snap and throw all the way across field, going 5-3. And Joe Howarth, left fielder for Grossmont, in the box with a count of 1 ball, 1 strike, and 1 out. Outfielders, Macaluso left, Balderas center, Yoshida right, Colburn behind the plate, catching for David Ebright. Racing for the ball and can't quite come up with it is Mike Osigera. Osigera had to charge to his right. Backing him up was Chad Addison. Couldn't quite find the handle. David Ebright was racing towards first, but it was a speedy Joe Howarth that makes the play, and he's safe at first base. So with 1 out in the top of the first, Joe Howarth with the hit given, and he makes it safely to first base.
Number 1, the catcher,
Bo Craig, number 1, the catcher for Grossmont. Now at the plate, you've got Howarth. At first base, 1 away. Craig batting .391 for the season. That includes tournament play as well as postseason play. Howarth on at first base. Craig with a 1-ball, no strike count, 1 out. Top of the first inning. High throw back by Ebright. Diving back to first base is Howarth. So Craig batting .391, had 110 plate appearances to date. Changeup low on that one. With the stick in hand. Craig getting 8 home runs for the season. That one is high, and so now it's 3 balls and no strikes with 1 out. And Craig batting .391 with 43 hits, 13 doubles, 2 triples, 9 home runs. Fouls that one out of play on the third base side into the stands where nobody is. Spirited crowd, as I said early today. Fans and friends of the Foothillers out on the third base side. On the first base side, that is, we've got the Mavericks friends and family. Ebright in the stretch position. Fouled back on a nice cut. So Bo Craig doing a good job of fighting off the pitches. Count now full to 3 balls and 2 strikes. And Ebert will send a payoff pitch to the plate. Ebright out of the stretch position. Swing and a miss. That'll be a strikeout, record strikeout number 1 for Ebright. Bo Craig goes down swinging. In the process, Joe Howarth moves to second base. And so with 2 out, Howarth now at second base in scoring position, and now at the plate, number 6, third baseman Ryan Lair. Lair batting a whopping .468. 105 bat appearances. Has the big stick with 11 home runs. So he would really like to have a story to tell when he goes back to school on Monday. And that is he poked one out of Qualcomm Stadium. No balls, 1 strike, 2 out. Howarth at second base. Fouled back. So right now, Ebright doing a nice job of keeping the ball down low when he has to. That one fouled off. That ball was sinking low, and by the time that Lair had made contact, it was down below his knees. Once again, the ball is low where he wants it, too low, so it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Ebright having a really good season, 10 wins, 3 losses with a 2.48 ERA, 53 strikeouts for the season. Sharp shot, racing for it. That's going to be off the glove of Paul Macaluso. Coming around to score is Howarth, and ending up at second base on a stand-up double is Ryan Lair. It looked for a moment that Macaluso, who was chasing it down, had the beat on it. It was going to go right into his mid on a spirited run, but it went off the tip of his glove all the way to the wall, and that allowed Ryan Lair to move all the way to second and Joe Howarth to come in to score. So a one-out double by Ryan Lair scores Howarth. And up to the bat now is Tyler Nichols, second baseman for Grossmont. Tyler Nichols, one of the main offensive players for the Foothillers. Base hit right field. Moving on down, coming in to score easily is Ryan Lair on a sharp single to right field by Tyler Nichols. And right now, David Ebright, who's been spectacular all season long, is really starting to struggle here on the top half of the first inning. Conference time out on the mound as Garrett Colburn, along with David Ebright, David Sewer, and also Mike Osigera, goes to the mound to try and settle down their young star. 2 out.
Number 9.
Grossmont out in front in the top half of the first inning, that is, 2-0. Now at the plate, Matt Pasilia, first baseman for Grossmont. Pasilia batting .302 for Grossmont. Pasilia's got 3 home runs. 86 plate appearances during the season, 22 hits. Among those, 3 doubles. Popped up into the infield, going for Chad Addison. And Mike Osigera is there also, and it's Osigera who makes the play. So after a half inning, Grossmont strikes and strikes quickly with 2 runs. And so it's Grossmont 2 and the Mavericks coming up to bat.
After 1/2 inning of play. In right field.
Take a look at the rosters now for the Foothillers on defense. Number 9 at first base, Matt Pasilia.
And third base.
Second base for the Foothillers, number 3, Tyler Nichols.
Behind the plate.
At shortstop, number 2, Sean Curley. At third base, number 6, Ryan Lair. In left field, number 21, Joe Howarth. Center field, number 20, Paul Swearingen. Right field, number 4, Ryan Rector. On the mound for the Foothillers, ace, number 17, Adam Diaz. And behind the plate, Bo Craig. First pitch is a pop-up. That goes right to the second baseman, Tyler Nichols. And we've got 1 up and 1 down in the bottom half of the first inning. So number 17, Adam Diaz, superstar pitcher for the Grossmont Foothillers. Diaz, 5-2 league play, 3.95 ERA, 28 strikeouts for the season. Right-handed pitcher. Now in the batter's box, trying to drag a bunt is Victor Yoshida, number 4. He's the right fielder for the Mavericks. Changeup, that'll be fouled back by Yoshida, so it's now 1 ball and 2 strikes. So coming into the playoffs, seeded number 5 was the La Costa Canyon Mavericks. Seeded 3rd are the Grossmont Foothillers. The Mavericks playing out of the North County Avocado League. The Grossmont Foothillers, that is, out of the Grossmont North League. They're going to call that a hit batter, and so number 4, Victor Yoshida, hit by a pitch. He'll move down to first base. And so Victor Yoshida at first, and coming up now, David Ebright, the pitcher. This is actually the first matchup between the Foothillers and the Mavericks, and they both have well-balanced lineups. Grossmont as a team is hitting .334, La Costa Canyon .312. Nice breaking ball pitch. It's high for ball number 1. Foothillers probably have an edge on power as they pounded out 42 homers as a team this year. The Mavericks only had 8. But the large confines here, I believe, of Qualcomm Stadium should probably favor the pitchers of La Costa Canyon. Nice grab, Joe Howard. Left fielder for the Foothillers, doing a nice job of coming up quickly and robbing a base hit away from David Ebright. Ebright just hit that ball right on the button. Went right, though, towards Joe Howarth, and he was able to take away what looked like could be a base hit for Ebright. So Mike Osigera now up, first baseman, number 9.
Yeah, a little bit. It's still hot.
Nice pitch and nicely fouled back. Mike Osigera playing first base tonight, also one of the pitchers for La Costa Canyon. That was a quick pitch, quick flip by Bo Craig, scrambling back Victor Yoshida. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 out. Bottom half of the first inning, 2-0 the score. Foothillers out in front of the Mavericks. Strike 3 called at the knees, and walking away in disbelief, Mike Osigera. And so after a hit pitch puts Yoshida on, Ebright flies out, and Osigera called strike 3 out. And so after 1 full inning of play, it's the Grossmont Foothillers 2, the La Costa Canyon Mavericks nothing. So up to bat now for Grossmont, Paul Swearingen, center fielder, number 20. He's going up against David Ebright. Ebright rocked a little bit in the first inning as 2 runs were scored by the Foothillers. 3 hits and 2 runs. So that's where we have it right now. Ebright really enjoying a good season this year. His record 10-3 with a 2.48. Very, very fine outings all season long. Wasn't that way not too long ago last season, when Ebright was part of the San Dieguito High School team. Now, San Dieguito closed down and La Costa Canyon opened up. Most of the students and athletes transferred over to La Costa Canyon. That's going to be a swing and a miss, and that'll be a strikeout for Ebright. So 1 up and 1 down in the top of the second.
Designated hitter, Number 8, Sam Sony.
DH Sam Sony now at the plate. Takes ball number 1. So Ebright, who was part of a 7-19 season with San Diego, who was just not enjoying baseball very much, really had a breath of fresh life this season as La Costa Canyon. Strike called again on the outside corner, and Ebright looks like now starting to settle down. Strike 3 called, nice changeup, and Sam Sony goes down looking at strike 3. So 2 up, 2 down, both on strikeouts. And right now, David Ebright is looking strong. Ryan Rector, right fielder, number 4 for Grossmont now up. So Ebright, who I'm sure was very frustrated. Nice throw, little off the mark, but give credit. Chad Addison had to move quickly to his right, was able to backhand it, but the throw by Addison to Oseguera brought Oseguera off the bag. And so a hit is given to Ryan Rector. Top of the lineup now, Sean Curley. Grounded out 5-3 in the first inning. He'll be up to try and advance Ryan Rector. So Ebright, in talking about last year, will tell you that it was not a lot of fun to be on a 7-19 team. As a matter of fact, he said no one seemed to have fun. But of course, a lot's changed for Ebright and his teammates this year. Of course, with the new school, La Costa Canyon. Baseball coach Matt Chess stepped down and was replaced by an assistant, 26-year-old Justin Machado. Finally, Ebright, of course, his teammates started winning, and winning, in fact, to the point that they are now here in the championship game of Division I against these Grossmont Foothillers. And for Grossmont, they're no strangers to championship play. Last year, it was Grossmont in this same Division I championship game against a strong Mount Carmel team. Ball gets by on the throw by Ebright, so down to second base and moving on to third, racing. Here comes the throw, and he is taken out at third base. Nice throw deep in the corner, all the way across, nails around it. Ryan Rector. And so Ryan Rector at third base is thrown out, and that'll be out number 3. So after 1.5 innings, it's the Foothillers 2, the Mavericks nothing.
No run.
Number 13, Chad Addison at the plate. Going up against Adam Diaz on the mound. Quickly, no balls and 2 strikes. Chad Addison now in a hole. Going to have to continue to fight off the pitches of one Adam Diaz. Diaz is a good pitcher, but if you look at his statistics, it's not overwhelming. Trying to throw a changeup, finds dirt, and so that's ball 1. 5-2 in league play, 3.95 ERA. Popped back out of play, so the count remains 1 ball, 2 strikes. Bottom half of the second inning. 2-0 the score. Grossmont, 4 hits, 2 runs, no errors. Mavericks right now with no hits, no runs. They have 1 error. And that 1 error, strangely enough, produced the 3rd out of the top half of the second inning. It was a throw by Ebright. An errant throw. It got by Mike Osigera, and on that, number 4, Ryan Rector, who was at first, went to second. His third base coach had him go to third, but the ball was waiting in the glove of David Sewar. Ball going down right field. And so lost deep in the corner. So the ball was lost deep in the corner. And going back to the plate is Chad Addison. And so that'll be a foul ball with all that hoopla. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Ball is delivered high, so it goes to a full count. Can't quite see the corner on the right-hand part of the field, as we are actually as well on field level. And we got some bleacher seats right to the right hand of us. Ball 4. And so Adam Diaz walks the leadoff runner, just what the doctor ordered for the Mavericks. And so now coming up, designated hitter number 16, Robert Sanchez.
Designated hitter number 16, Robert
Sanchez hits for the catcher, Garrett Colburn. Robert Sanchez. Also a pitcher. And when he pitches very well. 1.78 ERA. So right now, Adam Diaz struggling to get the ball down in the zone. He's been throwing the last few balls at chest level. Not only dangerous in producing balls, but dangerous if you get it over the plate. And one of the Maverick players can extend his arms on it and try and send it deep. There's a big swing and a miss. That was a nice fastball right down the pipes by Adam Diaz. Diaz 5 wins, 2 losses, 3.95. He's pitched in 10 games. Total of 44 innings pitched, giving up 55 hits, 31 runs. 28 strikeouts to his credit. Some of the players that do pitch for Grossmont, along with Diaz, is Krish, Mendoza, Craig, Rector, Geerdes, Lair, Parent, Anderson, and Correa. Throw back to first base. He's got a pretty good move. Geerdes is 5-0 as a pitcher. Kirsch is 5-2. That's off the glove. A quick throw is in the dirt, and everybody's safe. So it was a tough throw by Sean Curley. Bounced once right in front of Matt Pasilia. Pasilia couldn't quite find the handle as it bounces back out of his glove. And we're waiting for the official score. They're going to give an error on the throw of Sean Curley. So moving over to second base now is Chad Addison. safe on the error, Robert Sanchez, and now Carlos Balderas will be up to try and move the runners along. Nobody out in this bottom half of the second. Runners at first and second. Addison at second. Sanchez at first. Out of the stretch is Adam Diaz. Bunt put down nicely and doing the job. Number 7, Carlos Balderas, sacrifices and moves the runners. And that's exactly what he wanted to do. 1-3 out, but both runners advance. And so now with 1 out, the runners are at third and second. And coming up, third baseman David Sewer. Sewer, 6 foot 165, bats and throws right-handed. He's a senior for La Costa Canyon.
David Sewer.
So Adam Diaz, really interesting delivery when he throws his changeup. He actually slows down the delivery of his arm as well. Grounder to second base, over for out number 1, but that will bring in number 13, Chad Addison. Moving over to third base will be Robert Sanchez. And so now Paul Macaluso will try and see if he can put the ball into play and find a safe hit for himself and try and bring in Sanchez to tie this one up. Macaluso for the season, batting .342. Wants to try and make some contact and drive in Robert Sanchez, who is 90 feet away. Base hit left field. And exactly what the doctor ordered. Paul Macaluso comes up with a big-time clutch base hit and brings in Robert Sanchez from third base. So with 2 out in the bottom half of the second, La Costa Canyon climbs back into this one and ties it up at 2. Macaluso, you can't ask for a better clutch hit, and timely hitting will win it for you every time. There's that slow delivery again. Now, most of the time, pitchers will try and have the same type of delivery, whether it's a changeup or a fastball. In this case, you really can tell the difference when he's going to throw a fastball versus a changeup. Shallow pop right to the first baseman, and so Matt Pasilia gets the third out, but not before the Mavericks score 2 runs themselves. And so after 2, it's the Grossmont Foothillers 2, the La Costa Canyon Mavericks 2.
Sean Curley.
So leading off now, Sean Curley, shortstop for Grossmont. Grounded out 5-3 his first time up. Nice ball to right field. And right there for the Mavericks, number 4, Victor Yoshida. So Sean Curley got a piece of it and drove it nicely to right field. Victor Yoshida, moving to his right, was able to bring that one down. And so it's now 1 up and 1 down in the top half of the 3rd inning.
Left fielder number 21, Joe Howard.
Joe Howarth, number 21, now up to the plate. Howarth got a base hit and come around and scored in that 1st inning. Howarth, 5'10", 180 pounds, senior, bats and throws left. No balls, 1 strike with 1 out. David Ebright on the mound. Just missing. Ebright had a real shaky 1st inning as he allowed 2 runs on 3 base hits. He came back in the 2nd inning and really settled down. The inning went 1, 2, 3. 2 of those 3 outs were strikeouts. Nice pickup by the shortstop. Good strong throw and gets him. Jason Hill was able to gobble up a sharply hit ball right to him and then fired a rocket directly at Mike Oseguera and just got a speedy Joe Howard. So the play goes 6-3 for out number 2, and now catcher Bo Craig will come up to bat. Craig in the 1st inning struck out. We'll see what he can do this inning. Both of the coaches in this Division I championship game are actually 1st-year coaches for their respective teams. Rob Phillips of the 3rd-seeded Grossmont Foothillers up against Justin Machado of the Costa Canyon. Both of them trying to eye for that first CIF banner to hang in their gymnasium. Both of them have really a couple different types of benches. For the Foothillers, they've got the power. 42 home runs as a team during this season, and quite a bit of history over the last 10 years. Chopper racing for it, 2nd baseman Addison. Nice dive and hustle. Called safe is Bo Craig. Slow chopper to the 2nd baseman and gave a speedy Bo Craig the opportunity to head first slide into 1st, and the 1st base umpire calls him safe. So that brings up Ryan Lair, who hit a sharp stand-up double his 1st time up. He helped to score Howarth, and then Lair himself later scored on a single by Tyler Nichols.
Number 6, 3rd baseman, Ryan Lair.
2 out in the top half of the 3rd inning. 2-2 the score. Bo Craig on 1st base. Ryan Lair going up against number 12, David Ebright. Deep. What a grab! What a grab! Racing for the fence was number 7, Carlos Valderas, and makes the grab. That's the 3rd out, and after 2.5 innings of play, Grossmont 2, the Mavericks 2. Bottom half of the 3rd inning, at the plate, number 4, Victor Yoshida. And it is starting to mist here at Qualcomm Stadium. And we'll have to check the progress. What turned out to be a nice afternoon. We were here for both the two earlier games, the Division III and Division II games. It was beautiful blue skies, maybe a couple clouds here and there. And now we've got a little mist that's starting to come down on us. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and no out. We got to go back to the great grab by Carlos Balderas that ended the top half of the third. There was a tremendous shot, a fly ball by Ryan Lair that was heading down the power alleys to the 405 mark. And racing for the ball was Carlos Balderas, who with his back to home plate able to stick up his glove a la Steve Finley of the Padres and bring down a big out. Victor Yoshida on a high fly ball to right field taken by Ryan Rector, and that'll be out number 1 for the Mavericks. So that brings up David Ebright, the pitcher. He flied out to left field his first time up. Another sharp shot. This time it's a single to left field. And Ebright helps himself with a nice single. Ebright came around nicely on that ball. Hit it right on the money, and it was a sharp single. So Ebright now on first base safely. Mike Osigera. Mike Osigera struck out his first time up. Osigera batting .364 for the season. Part of the strong La Costa Canyon offense. Consists of Jason Hill, Mike Osigera himself, Paul Macaluso, Chad Addison. All these guys hitting well over 300. At the stretch, Adam Diaz. Big swing and a miss by Osigera. 1 strikeout so far in the game for Diaz. 3 strikeouts for Ebright. And after that first inning, Ebright has settled down nicely. For Grossmont, they got their 2 runs so far in the first inning. Base hit by Howarth. Then a 2-bagger by Ryan Lair that brought in Howarth. And then Tyler Nichols was able to get a base hit that brought in Lair, and that's where it was, 2-0. La Costa Canyon couldn't do anything in their bottom half of the first, and so after first inning, it was 2-0, the Foothillers. But in the second, it was David Ebright who went 1-2-3 with 2 strikeouts against Grossmont. And then it was the Mavericks' turn to come back. And I'll tell you what hurt the Foothillers. Chad Addison got on with the base on balls. An error was given as Robert Sanchez made it to first base. And then Paul Macaluso was able to help the cause as well. And so 2 runs scored after the dust settled at the end of 2. And so now we are the bottom half of the third. For the Mavericks, Ebright on at first base. 1 ball, no strikes, 2 outs. Going on the pitch and fouling it back. So Ebright was moving on the pitch. Addison got a piece of it, fouled it back, so Ebright goes back to first base. One ball, one strike to Chad Addison. Addison, who was one person got on by base on balls in the second, did come around and score. On deck will be Robert Sanchez. Addison batting .333 for La Costa Canyon. La Costa Canyon overall for the season 26-6. Grossmont 28-5. 3 balls, 1 strike. Now Chad Addison can look for the pitch that he wants to drive. Outfield, straight away. There's the drive. Could split the outfielders. It does. It rolls all the way to the wall. Coming home, Ebright moving on to third base with the throw. He's in there safely. A triple by Chad Addison. Splits the alleys in right field. Chad Addison chugging all the way around to third base. And by the time he ends up in third base, Ebright scores. Tremendous hit by Chad Addison. And now Robert Sanchez, number 16, the designated hitter for Garrett Colburn, going to try and do the honors and bring Chad Addison in, who's 90 feet away at third base. So Coach Rob Phillips comes out to talk with his pitcher, Adam Diaz. Action in the Grossmont bullpen. Pop fly to shallow center field. Calling off everybody is center fielder Paul Swearingen. And that makes the third out. But the Mavericks pick up a run, and so after 3 full innings of play, it's now the Mavericks 3, the Foothillers 2.
1 run on 2 hits, 1 left on base after 3 full innings of play.
Top half of the 4th inning, Tyler Nichols facing David Ebright. And Ebright has really settled down after the rocky first inning. In the last 2 innings, Ebright has only faced 7 batters. Nice pitch for a strike. Ebright's got a nice delivery. Gets the arm way back. Straightens it out with the ball down, palm ball down. Comes over. Nice play. Jason Hill, who had a little bit of trouble with the ball, was able to stay with it, and with a strong arm was able to throw out a charging Tyler Nichols just by a hair. So the play goes 6-3, out number 1, and now Matt Pasilia will come up. Pasilia batting .302 for the Foothillers. Pasilia contributing 3 of the home runs of the total of 42 by the Foothillers offense. There's still some action in the Foothillers bullpen. Number 16, strike 3 call. And David Ebright continues to look strong. So in the Foothillers dugout, that is bullpen, David Krish along with Mike Parent are both warming up. Strike called on a bunt attempt by number 20, Paul Swearingen. Swearingen struck out his first time up back in the second inning. For the Foothillers, they're here for their second straight title game, and they did it in most impressive style with a 6-5 win over Rancho Bernardo. Rancho Bernardo, one of the top seeded teams in the playoffs. Good effort by Paul Swearingen as he takes a dive into the dirt, but it's not good enough as the throw by David Seward is there to Osiguera. And so after 3.5 innings of play, it's the Mavericks 3, the Foothillers 2.
No runs.
Carlos Balderas now into the batter's box. He'll be going up against Adam Diaz. Adam Diaz with his off-speed pitch. I tell you, it's amazing that he can even actually get the ball to the plate. He just almost pushes the ball to the plate. There's a fastball. They'll call it strike 2 at the knees so quickly. No balls and 2 strikes. When he throws the fastball low, he snaps it, but when he delivers the off-speed stuff, it's almost that he pushes the ball. Balderas grounded out. 1-3 his first at-bat. Big swing and a miss for strike 3, and that'll be out number 1 for Adam Diaz and the Foothillers. David Seward, the strong third baseman for the Mavs, now up in the plate. Seward, third baseman, 6 foot 165, bats right, throws right. He's a senior for La Costa Canyon. Taking a look at how these two teams got to where they are today. In the first round of playoffs, La Costa Canyon beat Helix 3-0. During that same time, it was Grossmont 8, Mount Carmel 4. That was really almost considered an upset, as Mount Carmel was one of the #1 top seeded teams in division play, because last year it was Mount Carmel being crowned the Division I champions. Last season, Mount Carmel went up against that same Grossmont team, beating them 5-4 was Mount Carmel in that one. That was the year Mount Carmel had a couple really strong players. And that was a beautiful, beautiful play by Paul Swearingen. Ryan Rector was there, Paul Swearingen was there. The ball was diving quickly into the gap, and a diving play by Paul Swearingen. And that'll be a big out number 2 for the Foothillers. Paul Macaluso now steps in. Macaluso got a single his last time up. But last year, Mount Carmel had 2 superstars in Eric Munson and Eric Chavez. Eric Chavez was named CIF San Diego Section Player of the Year. He went on and is currently on scholarship to USC. Nice grab! Hot shot by Paul Macaluso, but a good job, good play that is by Ryan Lair, who went high, grabbed it, and saved what could be extra bases. After 4 full innings of play, the score remains the Mavericks 3, the Foothillers 2. Number 8, Sam Sony puts the ball into play to the second baseman. And Chad Addison is able to throw him out, so it's 1 up and 1 down in the top half of the 5th inning. And David Ebright continues his march in putting players out.
Number 4, right fielder, Ryan Rector.
Ebright's last inning was 1, 2, 3, including 1 strikeout. Ball is thrown away by the third baseman, Sewar, and ending up at second base is number 4, Ryan Rector. So that'll be an error charged on the throw by David Sewar, and that allows Ryan Rector to move towards second base. It was a slow-moving ball. Charging was David Sewar, who handed it, or barehanded it, that is, and then he threw it away, and that allowed Rector to move to second base. Errors and base on balls. Dangerous combinations for baseball teams. It was in the second inning when the Mavericks were up. They got a base on balls followed by an error, and then a base hit that allowed 2 runs to score and got the Mavericks back into it. They were down 2-0 at the time, and now with 1 out, there's a drive. That'll be right to the waiting glove of Paul Macaluso. And again, that ball was hit sharply, but right to Macaluso. That keeps Ryan Rector at second base with 2 down, and that was a big, big out. And so Joe Howarth now comes up. Howarth grounded out 6-3 his last time up. Batting .364, one of the offensive machines for the Foothillers. Bounding ball to second base, and that'll do it for Grossmont as that play goes 4-3. And so one runner's left at second base, and after 4.5 innings of play, Mavericks 3, Foothillers 2.
For Grossmont, in the top of the
Top of the lineup for the Mavericks, it'll be Hill, Yoshida, and Ebright. Jason Hill up against Adam Diaz. Strong throw, a little high, but able to be brought down by Matt Pasilia. Sean Curley with the strong arm. So 1 up and 1 down in the bottom half of the 5th inning. That'll bring up Victor Yoshida. Yoshida flied out to right field his last time up. In the first inning, he was hit by a pitch and got on to first base. Kids getting a kick playing here in Qualcomm Stadium, home of the San Diego Padres. High fly ball deep into left field, and right there for the Foothillers, Joe Howarth. So it was a nice ball hit deep out to the warning track. Howarth there, and that'll be out number 2.
the pitcher, number 12, David Ebright.
David Ebright, pitcher of record for the Mavericks, on deck and now walking into the batter's box. So we mentioned both teams really enjoying being able to play in a top-notch professional facility. Down into right field, waiting for it is Ryan Rector, and that'll do it for the Mavericks. That's 3 up and 3 down. And so after 5 full innings of play, 3-2, Mavericks.
None left for La Costa Canyon in the bottom of the 5th inning. After 5 full innings of play.
Bo Craig stepping into the box in the top half of the 6th inning. Craig, a single in the third inning, struck out in the first. Craig batting .391, 9 home runs to his credit this season. Big swing and a miss. It was actually Torrey Pines High School, which finished the Avocado League season 14-0. That was the #1 seed in this Division I San Diego section of CIF. But who would have known? Who would have known that they would have been knocked out in the first round of playoffs by Rancho Buena Vista by the score of 3-2. And Mount Carmel, who last year was crowned Division I champions, they were knocked out in the first round by Grossmont. Now, Grossmont beat them 8-4, and of course, Grossmont has gone on now and is showing themselves right here in the championship.
Number 6, the third baseman, Ryan.
So that's a strikeout and out #1. Bo Craig goes down, his second time swinging in this game. And now that'll bring up Ryan Lair. Lair, who drove a ball deep, now puts another shot on the ball. Picked up by the center field, Carlos Balderas. But I tell you what, Ryan Lair is really, really super hot tonight. He's got David Ebright's number. He got a double in the first inning, drove Carlos Balderas almost to the warning tracks on a long fly ball in the alley. And it was only because it was a super catch by Carlos Balderas that he didn't go 3 for 3 tonight. So with 1 out, we've got Ryan Lair on first base, Tyler Nichols at the plate. Nichols grounded out 6-3 his first time up, got a base hit in the first inning. His base hit able to bring in Ryan Lair, who earlier, right before him, had that double. Ball gets by. Bad throw by Ebright. So that's going to be a wild pitch. Charge to Ebright as Colburn can't handle it, and that's going to send Lair down to second base with 1 out. So the tying run is on second base. At the plate, Tyler Nichols with 2 balls, no strikes, 1 out, top half of the 6th inning. Foul ball. That one was close. Late on the swing, going down first baseline. So now the ball goes 2 balls, 1 strike. Lair at second base, tying run. At the plate, Tyler Nichols. Nichols batting .346 for the season. Another low ball bites the dust right in front of Garrett Colburn. Colburn doing a good job of keeping his body in front of these low balls. David Ebright trying to do what he wants to, and that's keep the ball low. Doesn't want to get it up in the strike zone where Nichols or anybody can lay some wood on it. Fastball high, and that'll be ball 4. So trotting down to first base. Representing the go-ahead run at first base is Tyler Nichols. And so now coming up is Matt Pasilia. So Coach Justin Machado comes out to talk to his star pitcher David Ebright. Ebright stays in the game, and he'll be going up against Matt Pasilia. Pasilia struck out his last time at bat in the 4th inning. 1 out here, top of the 6th inning. Runners at first and second. And Ebright having to work out of a jam here. Ebright right now effectively throwing low off-speed pitches, and he's got Pasilia chasing after 2 bad pitches. And so for Ebright, he's got in the driver's seat, no balls, 2 strikes with 1 out, 2 runners on. Lair at second, Nichols at first. The big blue behind the plate tonight, Don Robinson. CIF action requires 3 field umpires, first, at second, and third. No balls, 2 strikes. Ebright on the delivery. Strike 3, a swing and a miss, and that is a big, big out for La Costa Canyon. Going down swinging for the 2nd time in a row is Matt Pasilia. And that's now 2 outs. And now Paul Swearingen, center fielder. Swearingen grounded out 5-3 his last time out, struck out in the 2nd inning. Just missing high. So now with 2 outs, not so much of a jam for Ebright, and give him credit as he's working out of a tough spot. Comes back big with the strikeout. And there he throws a nice off-speed pitch, catches Swearingen off guard. And so it's now 1 ball, 1 strike with 2 out. Crowd starting to get into it for La Costa Canyon. Nice stop by Garrett Colburn. Colburn once again doing a good job keeping that ball in front of him at all times. Ebright really trying to throw a lot of things down low, and he's doing a good job at it. Both sides of the crowd getting into it. Hooping and hauling on the third base side, trying to motivate Swearingen to put the ball into play safely. Just low. 3 balls, 1 strike. And Ebright is 1 pitch away from loading these bases. Strike called right at the knees. Super pitch by David Ebright. He's been down at the knees all game long. And now the payoff pitch on the way. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. Runners at first and second. They'll be going. Chopper. That goes foul. I can't say enough with David Ebright right now. He is keeping the ball down in the batter's box, and he is keeping it at the knees, and there's a good example of what happens. Paul Swearingen takes a swing and finds just the top of the ball and chops it foul. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. 3-2 Mavericks out in front of the Foothillers. Working out of the stretch is David Ebright, who has been masterful after the first inning. Fighting off the pitch is Swearingen. After the first inning, where he had a rough start, got rocked for 2 runs, Ebright has settled down and done very, very well, getting at least a strikeout in each inning, except the 5th. Shallow ball racing forward. That's going to drop. Coming in to score is Lair, and ending up at third base is Tyler Nichols. Swearingen comes up big with a single that drops in front of Carlos Balderas and right behind Jason Hill and Chad Addison. So with 2 outs, the Foothillers tie this one up at the top of the 6th inning. Off the single by Paul Swearingen, and now Sam Sony, the designated hitter, comes to the plate. Foothills 3, Mavericks 3, top of the 6th. At first base, Paul Swearingen. At third base, Tyler Nichols. And once again, Tyler Nichols, who got on base, how? Base on balls. So often, the base on balls will come back to hurt you big time, and right now, he's less than 90 feet away to try and go ahead. Super game of the week we're bringing to you right now. George Langevin Sports Video Productions. Always glad to bring you the super games, and we've got one right here tonight. Qualcomm Stadium Boys CIF Division I Baseball Championship. Foothills versus the Mavericks. And David Ebright, runners at the corners, 2 out, 1 ball, no strikes. Big swing and a miss. Sam Sony grounded out 4-3 in the 5th inning, struck out in the 2nd. So this is his 3rd time at bat, batting for Adam Diaz, designated hitter. Got him! Nice throw by Garrett Colburn. And out there to argue it is coach. Good throw and a called out at second base. But Grossmont puts 1 on the board to tie it up. So after 5.5 innings, it's the Foothills 3 and the Mavericks 3. Bottom half of the 6th inning, all tied up at 3. Number 9, Mike Oseguera at the plate, and I'll tell you what, Coach Bob Phillips of the Foothills, a frustrated man right now as he came out at the end of Grossmont's at-bat on that called 3rd out when Paul Swearingen was trying to steal second and he was called out. Rob Phillips came all the way out to second base to challenge the call by the second base umpire. The umpire turned his back and walked away as he wanted to have nothing of it. Big swing and a miss for strike 1, or that's strike 3 that is, and that's out number 1. And Adam Diaz, pitching inning for inning against David Ebright, records a strikeout in the bottom half of the 6th inning. Chad Addison, who came up with a big triple to score David Ebright in the 3rd inning, takes ball 1, no 1 ball, no strikes. A changeup. Action picking up in the bullpen for La Costa Canyon. Bounding ball by the shortstop. And Sean Curley moves behind second base and is able to throw out the runner. And so Chad Addison goes down on the throw 6-3, and that'll be out number 2. Robert Sanchez, designated hitter, now coming up. Garrett Colburn now in the batter's box. Robert Sanchez has been the designated hitter for Garrett Colburn.
Your attention, please.
And now Garrett Colburn will be batting for himself.
Number 11, Garrett Colburn, the catcher.
Colburn, this is his first time at bat. Sanchez, when he was batting for Colburn in the third inning, flied out to center field, and now Colburn will see what he can do. Nice looking pitch by Diaz. 1 ball, no strikes, 2 out. Bottom half of the 6th inning, a 3-3 tie. Colburn takes a big swing and a miss. So while Grossmont was beating Mount Carmel, actually shocking them, it was La Costa Canyon beating Helix 3-0. Gets by the first baseman. That was going to happen because what happened was Garrett Colburn turned the wrong way. Instead of turning out, Colburn turned in, which allowed him to be an active player. And so as he walked back to first base, the heads-up play by Bo Craig tagged him out for the 3rd out. Simple play. You learn it in Little League to always walk away from second base. But turning into second base was the same as rounding first base. And out there to challenge is Justin Machado, but Machado has no grounds as the correct call was made. After 6 full innings of play,
No hits.
Grossmont 3, La Costa Canyon 3.
Nobody left on base.
So now batting for the Foothillers, number 19, Marcos Mendoza. Mendoza 5'10", 155. He's a junior for the Foothillers. Bats right, throws left. First time up tonight. On the mound still, David Ebright. Got to go back to the last out for La Costa Canyon. What a weird play. First of all, Garrett Colburn decides coach has him batting for himself. Then sends a chopper, which Grossmont then throws away, and Colburn reaches first base on an error. But then Colbert turns in towards second instead of out towards first. He walks slowly back to the bag, and a heads-up Bo Craig tags him out for the 3rd out. Man, oh man. That's what's great about sports. You never know. Fouled out of play. So we're in the top half of the 7th inning. Mavericks will have their last at bats. They want to get out of this one 1-2-3 if they can. David Ebright has been super strong. Shaky start first inning, allowed 2 runs. Since that time, he has been domineering. Nice play by the 3rd baseman, David Sewar. And that was a hot shot right into the glove of Sewar, who had a strong throw to Oseguera for out number 1. Just as that play was happening, I was going to mention that David Ebright has had some tremendous help defensively all night long. So Ryan Rector, number 4, who reached second base in the 5th inning on an error. Bats left, takes ball high, 1. So in the quarterfinals, La Costa Canyon was up against Monte Vista. La Costa Canyon beat them 2-0. The same time, it was Grossmont pounding Granite Hills in a high-scoring one, 16-10. In the semifinals, La Costa Canyon squeaked by Vista 4-3. It was Grossmont shocking Rancho Bernardo 6-5. In the game where Grossmont knocked out Rancho Bernardo, the difference was really about 3 feet. That was the distance separating the relay throw from the Rancho Bernardo first baseman's glove. It was an errant throw. that allowed the tying and winning runs to score in the bottom of the 7th. Good strikeout by Ebright, and that'll be out number 2 in this one.
Number 2, the shortstop, Sean.
And so Sean Curley, top of the order, comes up. Curley flied out to left field his last time at bat. Flied out to left field in the 5th, the 3rd, and then grounded out in the 1st. 0 for 3 tonight is Curley. Nice pitch for a strike. At times during the season, La Costa Canyon had some real good win streaks. At one time, they won 8 in a row. Started out at 11-4. Ended up 18-4, beating Ramona, Oceanside, Carlsbad, Poway, Escondido, El Camino, and Fallbrook. Strike call. That's a nice pitch by David Ebright. Once again, Ebright all night long keeping the pitches down low. Sean Curley had some big eyes on that one, as if he would have laid off, that would have been a ball. He fouls it back on a high pitch. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out in the top of the 7th. For Ebright. He has 6 strikeouts tonight. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. Payoff pitch on the way. 6 strikeouts and a host of great efforts by his defense. Ball 4, Waxham. So the go-ahead run now in the top half of the 7th is at first base. That's represented by the speedy Sean Curley. And now Joe Howarth up to bat. So at the plate, 21, Joe Howarth going up against David Ebright. 2 outs, top half of the 7th inning. Sean Curley diving back to first base. Pitching coach for the Mavericks went out and talked to Ebright. After discussion, Ebright stays in and continues on the mound. I tell you what, Ebright, and I've said it before, has been keeping the ball down low. As a matter of fact, he has only had 3 fly balls the entire game. 1 in the 3rd inning, 1 in the 4th, and 1 in the 5th. All the other outs have been either strikeouts or grounders. Well, that's a nice save by Sean. That is Jason Hill. Jason Hill had to move and dive quickly to his right to be able to save that ball from going into the left field. That kept Sean Curley at second base, but give a good, strong, clutch hit to Joe Howarth. And now coming up is going to be Bo Craig. Bo Craig struck out in the 6th, got a single in the 3rd, struck out in the 1st, and right now, David Ebright would really love to find the pitches to strike out Bo Craig once again. Bo Craig 2 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. Strike called, and that's probably the best pitch that Ebright has right now, It's a slow ball breaking down at the knees. Swing to foul, so that's strike 2. So now in the driver's seat is Ebright. No balls and 2 strikes. He can play around a little bit with Bo Craig. Doesn't have to throw anything over the plate. Can work with the corners. If anything, what he's going to do is Ebright's going to throw that sinker of his, get it around the knees, and see if Bo Craig can go fishing on it. Let's see if he sets him up with the fastball outside and then comes back with the changeup sinking low. We'll see what happens. Sets him up with the fastball on the outside corner, just misses. So right now, if history has it, he's going to try and come back with his changeup. The sinking ball that's going to dive down into the dirt at the knees of Bo Craig, and we'll see if Bo Craig can go fishing. It's low, but it's too low. Now the ball counts 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. Runners at first and second. Tyler Nichols. That is Sean Curley at second. Joe Howarth at first. Still has a couple pitches to try and help himself out. He's going to try and keep it low. There's a drive going deep. To the wall and off the wall, coming in to score. Curley and Howarth, and with a clutch triple is Bo Craig. A drive in the alley to right field, and coming in to score. 2 more runs for the Foothillers. Sean Curley, and then all the way from first base, Joe Howarth, and Bo Craig comes up with a triple in the top half of the 7th inning. And now Grossmont goes out in front 5-3. Good effort to David Ebright as he leaves the game after 6.5 innings. Gives up 9 hits on 5 runs. But I tell you what, David Ebright had a good outing tonight. So now on the mound for the Mavericks is going to be number 9, Mike Oseguera, who he moves over from first base, coming into the game to play first base, number 5, Paul Jacinto. So now standing at third base with this triple is Bo Craig, and Bo Craig 2 for 4 tonight with a triple and a single. Coming in to score in this inning is Sean Curley and Joe Howarth. And so Grossmont out in front 5-3 on 9 hits. Mavericks with 3 hits and 3 runs. And all this happening with 2 out in the top of the 7th. One ball, 2 strikes, 2 out, and La Costa Canyon wants to get out of this inning, and they haven't been able to with 2 outs. Two and 2. So coming up in the bottom half of the 7th, it's going to be Carlos Balderas, David Suar, and Paul Macaluso. Balderas 0 for 2, David Suar 0 for 2, Paul Macaluso 1 for 2. No strike as the appeal to the first base umpire. So it's now 3 balls, 2 strikes, and we are in a payoff pitch situation. Runner's going to be going on the corner. Bo Craig. Ball 4 lost him, and so now things seem to be falling apart now for La Costa Canyon. For so many innings, David Ebright and the rest of the Mavericks looked like they were in strong control to at least to keep the Foothills at bay. But slowly, the Foothills have come back.
Tyler Nichols.
Fastball, nice one by Mike Oseguera. So leading 3-2 in the top of the 7th. Grossmont's come back. And the force at second finally ends this inning. But 2-run score off the clutch triple by Bo Craig, and after 6.5 innings of play, the Foothills 5, the Mavericks 3. Last half of the 7th inning for the Mavericks. They've got 3 outs to at least tie this one up. They want to get 3 to go ahead and win it in dramatic fashion in the bottom of the 7th. Carlos Balderas, number 7. Takes high, ball 1. Hot shot to the third baseman. Ryan Lair with the throw to Matt Pasilia, and 1 up and 1 down. And now for the Mavericks, they are down to their final 2 outs. For the Mavericks, they've got David Sewer and Paul Macaluso. Macaluso, the only one actually getting on base all game. That was back in the 2nd inning. He got a single. Sewer flied out to center field in the 4th inning, grounded out 4-3 in the 2nd inning. Adam Diaz for the Foothills, been on the mound for the full game. He's going to try and pitch a complete game of 7 innings. Strike right there. 2 balls, 1 strike, 1 out. On deck, Paul Macaluso. Called strike 2. Grossmont claimed titles in 1990, in 1991, and was runner-up in 1989 and 1996. Grossmont is now 1 out away from being crowned the 1997 Division I champions.
Number 6, the left fielder.
And the Grossmont fans and family are on their feet. 1 out away from becoming the Division I champions for 1997. Last year, Grossmont loses to Mount Carmel 5-4. Grossmont back here now, 1 out away from taking it all home. Adam Diaz on the mound. He's pitched the whole game. He's allowed just 3 hits and 3 runs. There's a chopper to third base. The long throw. He's got him and he's out of there. And the 1997 CIF Division I Boys Baseball Championship goes to the Foothills of Grossmont High School. Adam Diaz on the mound all 7 innings. Pitches a beautiful 3-hit game. Joe Howarth, Paul Swearingen, Ryan Rector, Sean Curley, Tyler Nichols, Ryan Lair, Matt Pasilia, Bo Craig, Adam Diaz, all giving it all for today's game. The final score after 7 full innings of play, the Grossmont Foothillers 7, check that, the Grossmont Foothillers 5, the Mavericks of La Costa Canyon 3. On behalf of George Langevin, Sports Video Productions, I'm Dan Williams. Thanks for watching our Super Game of the Week. We'll be back with post-game interviews and lots more right after this.
Runners-up, the Mavericks of La Costa Canyon High School. And now to present the awards. Number 4, Victor Yoshida. Number 5. Yeah, here, guys. Number 6, Paul Macaluso. Number 7, Carlos Alvarez. Number 8, David Stewart. Number 9, Michael Segura. Number 10, Layton Owens.
Everything, give them out, everything to you.
Number 12, David Ebright. Number 13, Chad Addison. 15, Jason Hill.
That's for you, that's for you, Mark.
Number 16, Robert Sanchez. Number 17, David Flores. Number 18, Jeff Todd. Number 19, Clay Colbert.
Great
Tim Hector. And Rob Perry. Accepting the 1997 Division I Baseball runners-up trophy,
guys, you're champions.
manager Justin
Hey,
Machado.
thank you.
Bo Craig standing with me. Congratulations, first of all. Hey, what was it? The sixth inning, you strike out against the pitcher, and then you're coming up in the seventh, and what are you thinking about?
He made me look ugly a few times, and he almost did it again that at bat. I just took a deep breath and told myself it's time to battle, get it done. I didn't want to lose this game, and waited.
What was the pitch that he threw at you? Could you tell?
Off-speed pitch.
Okay.
It was an off-speed pitch.
He was pretty effective with that most of the game.
Yeah, he blew the fastball by me one time because he was mixing it up real well, and that stayed in my mind the whole game. And that's what he wanted, and he never came back with it really. So that's what screwed me up, is that fastball was in the back of my mind, so I wasn't just adjusting and sitting off speed. And I kept thinking he was going to come back with it, and he never did. So finally I just said to myself, he's not gonna, and told myself just to put the ball in play. I didn't even really take a big swing. I did not want to strike out again.
Well,
I just put the barrel on the ball.
Well, you did, because it was a huge triple that scored the 2 runs that ended up being the winning runs. Congratulations on a super game.
Thanks a lot.
Joe Howarth with me, 2 for 4 tonight. How tough was it going up against this pitcher tonight?
Mentally, it was very tough, because this is the big game, and no matter who they throw, it's going to be a close game.
Close game it was. Going into this game, what did Coach tell you guys to do?
He told us that we came here last year, and so we should have already been loose and ready to play, and that's what we did. So,
what is it, do you think, that makes this team so special?
Team unity. Everyone believes in each other, and when times get crunched like that, we all believe in ourselves, and that's when things happen.
Well, things happened for you tonight, and they were good things. Congratulations on a championship win.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Shortstop Sean Curley is with me. First of all, congratulations.
Thank you.
What is what's it feel like to play on the Padres field?
It's incredible. It's the best field I've ever played on in my life. I'm glad I get to do it twice, 2 years in a row.
Now, when you guys came in and you're going to play La Costa Canyon, what was it that you were supposed to be watching out for in this team?
We knew they had good pitching and played good defense, and we just hoped to outscore them. We got lucky and did.
Now, you came up big time. You scored one of the, basically ended up winning the winning runs in the 7th inning. Can you tell me about that?
I just tried to get on base and coaxed a walk, and guys behind me did their job, and I scored.
Well, scoring you did, and it was enough, 5 runs to come out on top. Congratulations on becoming the Division I champions.
Thank you.
Standing with me, Paul Swearingen. Congratulations on a great game, first of all.
Thank you very much.
How hard is it to judge fly balls in this big field here?
It's pretty hard. Sometimes they get caught in the lights, and the wind, it doesn't seem like it, but there is wind in here, and it like shoots the ball down a little bit, so you have to really keep your eye on the ball.
How tough was it batting up against Ebright tonight?
Well, first couple of bats, he got me on the change-ups and stuff, and I was out in front, so I was struggling pretty bad. But the last at bat, I was just scooting up on the plate and sitting on that change-up and trying to make something happen.
Well, you guys made something happen, all right. You were down 3-2. What were you guys thinking about at that time? You're going in the top of the 7th. You're down by 1 run.
The thing we're thinking about is getting runners on and manufacturing runs. That's what our coach has been saying all year. That's what we've been doing all year, putting bunts down, getting people on, moving them over, just simple things like that.
Well, fundamentals is what did it for you, as well as, of course, some good offense and great pitching by Diaz. Congratulations on a win.
Thank you very much.
2, 3, 4!
Standing with me, head coach Rob Phillips. Now, Rob, bottom of the 7th, you come back and you beat Rancho Bernardo. Top of the 7th, here you come back and win. You like to win in dramatic style?
We've been doing that all year long. Our kids have never ever given up. With 2 outs, Sean gets a walk. Joey Howarth struggles and gets the ground ball to the left side and beats it out. And then Bo had 3 really tough at bats and didn't give in and got his pitch and did what he had to do.
Did you expect Diaz to go the whole game tonight?
No, we expected him to go 4 to 5 innings. That was a very gutsy performance. That's the best performance we've had all year. I mean, it was just awesome. I mean, he was on the ropes in the 3rd inning, and he gutted it out. It was his ball game. He's a senior, so I'm just real proud for him.
Absolutely, and you had great defensive help as well. Well, the lights look like they're starting to go out, Coach. Congratulations on a championship win.
Thank you very much.
So tonight, it's the Grossmont Foothillers capturing their Division I championship game. The final score, 5 for Grossmont, 3 for La Costa Canyon. And Grossmont wins another one of their historic games here at San Diego Jack Murphy Stadium, now known as Qualcomm Stadium. On behalf of George Langevin Sports Video Productions, I'm Dan Williams. We'll see. Star pitcher for tonight's game, Adam Diaz. Did you think you were going to go all 7 innings?
I would have been happy if I'd have went with 5. My coaches told me if you go 5, I'll be happy with you, but I went the whole game.
After about the 4th inning you actually, I believe, retired the minimum number of batters, and you just got stronger and stronger. Is that characteristic of you?
No, I settled down and just started throwing what I could throw and hit my spots when I needed to hit my spots and got ground balls when I needed them.
What was working best for you tonight?
My curveball. I got that over a lot. First pitch strikes with the curveball, so they weren't looking for it. They were looking for fastball, so I got them off balance.
When in your career did you actually start throwing the curveball?
Probably when I was in caps.
A long time ago.
Yeah, I was probably 7 or 8 years old. Started throwing it.
So you've had a lot of time to master it.
Yeah, I have.
Well, you definitely were the master on the mound tonight, pitching a 3-hitter and giving your team a win. Congratulations very much.
Thank you very much.
Adam Diaz, the superstar tonight of this game. He goes the whole distance, 7 innings, and gives the Foothillers a win. The final score again, Foothillers 3, the Foothillers 5, the Mavericks 3. On behalf of George Langevin Sports Video Productions, I'm Dan Williams. We'll see you again.